We are here on The Decent Show, taking you back to 2008 with Right Above It. I think it's 2008. I don't know. But anyway, we're here for episode 4.
That's right. Yep. You know your stuff.
I can count. Thank you. This is Ryan Money. I'm joined by Reagan Horton, and this evening's episode is going to be about trailers that he made me watch today.
That's true, I did.
Yeah. So, Reagan, why don't you break down some of the trailers you showed me today?
All right. Basically, they were all trailers that were released around or during Comic-Con, because that was this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know some stuff. And so we watched...
I totally didn't put it together. I was like, Comic-Con's going on, the trailers say Comic-Con. I was like, what is going on here? What's up with all these trailers at the same time? Must be for Comic-Con.
Well, you're good at math. You can't be good at everything.
Yeah, I mean, I can put 2 and 2 together.
Anyway, so we watched Aquaman, Shazam, Fantastic Beasts, Godzilla, and Glass. I'm going to start in order of least care to most care.
That sounds good.
All right, let's just get this out of the way.
I bet we have a very similar order. I mean...
Fantastic Beasts, number 1.
Is least?
Yeah, I'm least interested in that movie.
Okay, then we don't have the same order.
Oh, man.
But I see where you're coming from.
It's already derailed. Also, I think Right Above It was from 2010.
Yeah, I said 2008.
I mean, 2010. It's not the same year.
Yeah, well, it's like cars. They always come out a year early, you know.
I can literally take the skin off my scalp by how much I scratched my head right there. What you just said. Anyway,
it's a mind-boggling.
I saw the other one. I remember thinking the other Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And
have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah, I saw part of it and I didn't like
part of it.
I saw part of it on TV, so that's why I'm maybe not as interested in it.
Like on TNT, like with commercials.
No, it was HBO.
Oh, okay, good. Okay,
or something like that. Stars, whatever.
No.
So yeah, I saw that and I didn't really care for it. So I was not. I mean, it's not like it's bad or anything. It's just like I only kind of liked Harry Potter. So like, if it's a knockoff or a spinoff of Harry Potter, I'm gonna care even less. And then to boot, you throw like Johnny Depp in it at the very end. I was like, oh my god.
See, I didn't like that.
That's a good That's a good recipe for like me not liking something, is throwing Johnny Depp into it.
You don't like Johnny Depp?
What is he in that I like?
Pirates.
I like the first one.
That's good enough. That's the best one.
Okay.
Public Enemies.
I've never seen Public Enemies.
We need to watch that good movie.
All right. What else you got? You got anything else?
I mean, he's been in a ton of good movies, but
Salt?
like he's in Salt
or whatever.
No, The Tourist.
Yeah. Oh,
horrible movie.
Transcendence. You see that one?
No, I wanted to though. He's in a lot. He's in a lot of movies that are like highly acclaimed, but most of them are Tim Burton movies, and they're weird, and it's just not like
exactly.
Yeah, no, I don't. That was one of my friend's most favorite movies, and I like never watched it.
Nice.
And I never had an interest to. I don't like those dark. I just broke this. I don't like those dark, weird movies, and that's what he's done a lot of. So basically, all his movies that aren't like that, I'm normally okay with. But The Tourist was a horrible movie. Anyway,
so the trailer came out, and it looks pretty interesting. It looks like it takes place in the exact same place. I mean, I know, like, you know, they all take place, like all the Harry Potter movies take place in the school or whatever. But this movie looks like it's taking place in the exact same like street and like area of the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it seemed oddly similar in a way I can't really put into words, but it just seems so similar. You know, it's like, didn't we just see that building? Like in the first one, they're like, he has that big line of, you know, the most dangerous creatures in the world are surrounding us. It's humans or whatever. And he's standing like in a pile of bricks. And in this one, he's in the trailer. There's a guy in the trailer, and he's like, as an explosion takes out this building, he's also standing in a pile of bricks, and it looks like almost identical to the first trailer. Even that's even in the trailer. Let's see what else we got. We got Johnny Depping in it.
He looks good though.
Yeah,
he looked really rough in Pirates 5. I can't believe I'm saying that, but he looked really rough in Pirates 5. He looks a lot better in this movie. I know it's weird to comment on his appearance, but like he looked awful, honestly, in Pirates 5, in my opinion. But
dude, in what world do we need 5 Pirates of the Caribbean?
Well, we
movies?
didn't. To me, they should have
stopped at
one. I mean, they should have stopped
at least 3.
Yeah, they should have stopped at probably 3.
And eliminated 2.
And then 4 wasn't horrible. But yeah, 5 was out there. But it was one of those things, there's so many, like, I guess, pirate legends and pirate folktale that they can make more movies. But, like, to me, they went off the deep end with it. And...
Ooh, good pun.
Nice. Oh, that was a good pun. Nice. That's not what I meant. But that's not what I intended, excuse me. But the problem with those movies is like what made the first one so great to me was like literally the pirating, like them being pirates, them doing the pirate stuff, the comedy, like all that stuff was great. And then like as the movies progressed, they focused more and more like on magic and like mythical powers and like stuff that like totally to me just takes the realism out of it. Like I don't know, like everything has like I'm okay with a curse or something.
Yeah.
But like literally
Like a good swearing, just a real like insult to someone that'll make it a PG-13 movie. You get what I'm saying? I'm making fun of you because you said curse, and I'm talking about like the word
cursing. Yeah,
you're not even paying attention.
Well, because I'm like brain dead. I'm trying to think, but yeah, just like the magic. Like they focus too much on like the magic fairy tale stuff that like we don't need. Like we loved the movie without all these magic powers and stupid rituals and going to the other side of the world and flipping your boat upside down to get to the other side of the world and Davey, because they got too weird. They went too far with it.
Speaking of magic, what did you think about this trailer?
Okay, so what you were saying about like kind of the first movie and comparing it to the trailer of the new movie is unfortunately I feel like my opinion's going to be skewed because especially like if people listen to this and they've seen all the Harry Potters, because I haven't. I stopped, I think, at 3. Maybe I've seen bits and pieces of 4. But it just seems to me that, like, in the Harry Potter movies, obviously, like, the whole thing's based on magic. There's weird creatures and people, and everything's magic, and they have wands, and I can accept all that. All that's fine. But from what I've seen in those movies and what I've seen in this movie, this is a prequel. Like, this is a prequel to the Harry Potter world, like, whatever.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's a young Dumbledore.
Exactly. But for some reason, everything seems more jacked up. Like, there's new creatures and, like, stuff we've never seen before, and they're more in-depth and weird-looking and exotic, and the magical powers, to me, are more in-depth and exotic. Like, they're just... Like, to me, it's completely different in a way. Like, I know it's the same basic idea, but, like, it's one of those things, it's like, how does it get more magical if it's the past?
I mean, I think it just is because, like, CGI has come so far since 2001 or whenever the first Harry Potter came out.
Yes, and that's true. But, I mean, like, kind of like the writing, too. Like, I don't know. And I guess it's probably the CGI and the technology, so they're like, hey, since we have this technology, let's do this with it. Mm-hmm. So that's probably it. But, I mean, to me, that is kind of... And it's the same problem that Star Wars had, but I mean, they didn't have a choice because it's like 30 years separating the originals to what became the prequels. But like, I don't know, it's kind of weird to have a movie that is a prequel, but like things are better, more powerful, and more magical and more in depth, but yet it's in history. Like this is, you know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah. It's just weird. That's the only problem I have with it. And then Johnny Depp, the only thing I didn't like about the first movie is the trailers for the first movie, they advertise like Johnny Depp's a main character. And technically he is, but he's barely in the first movie. Like, he's really hardly in it at all, technically. Mm-hmm. And they advertise like he's all over it. And so, if they're going to do it again for the second movie, like, he better actually be in it. Like, he better have a decent role with a fair amount of screen time. Because that first one, I was like, the whole movie, I was like, where's Johnny Depp? And I was like, I practically came to this movie for Johnny Depp because I didn't finish watching the Harry Potter movies, so I didn't really have any interest in watching this movie.
Yeah.
And then, so I've gone on too long, but yeah, that's kind of how I feel. The trailer looks fine. Like, I'm going to go see it because I pretty much see every movie now that looks decent, but I honestly could care less. It's probably my second least favorite, though.
Okay. All right. Well, then you want to talk about Glass then? Since I assume that's your least.
Nope.
Whoa. All right. Wow.
No, you keep going with yours.
Okay, so Glass.
That's your second least favorite?
Yeah, or I'm looking forward to it the least.
That's what I mean.
I'm just saying, like, the trailer. I guess I should put it. The trailer did the least for me. Like, the trailer for Glass was like really good, and I feel like it was. How should I put?
Where does Godzilla rank on this list? Because
you can't spoil it. I mean, I'll be there in a minute.
Okay, that's my least favorite.
Anyway, so Glass was basically about, like, it's after Split, and, it ties in that character, and apparently the girl from that movie.
Yeah, it does.
and also Bruce Willis is back, and Sam Jackson's back, which is awesome. I love all three of those actors, and I love to see them all three in a movie. It honestly doesn't seem like it could be bad, to be honest with you. I can't imagine all three of those people, because Bruce Willis, sometimes he's and then, James McAvoy, he doesn't have a ton of movies to begin with, honestly, that he's like the lead character in or so.
Yeah, but he's a really good actor.
He's
to me.
great. Yeah, he's great. Yeah. And then Sam Jackson. So he's
black.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a factor. And he was just like, I don't know. They're all like they look really cool, and I feel like they're like holding their punches or whatever. But I was telling you about Unbreakable, how I'm like, it's not even really a superhero movie, which that's fine. But it has like no third act in that movie, because there's no like, and that we get tired of it, the explosion and the beam of light in the sky and the bad guy's evil plan and all that stuff. Like that's something that's been done a billion times or whatever. But you need to do something like that in this movie, to me. Like, you can't just have him, because in Unbreakable, he just comes up on Sam Jackson as he's about to like cause another catastrophe or whatnot, and he stops him by the police. Like, so they never get like,
Wait, who stops who?
Bruce Willis
stops Sam Jackson.
Yes, so they never get that final encounter or so. But I'd love to see a movie where like Bruce Willis is, he's being just a badass, and he's like seeing crime in the very beginning of the movie, and he's stopping it, and he's like beating the crap out of people, and he's taking all these hits, and like I like to see like more realistic wear and tear on him. Like, he gets thrown into the wall at the first one, and it's pretty cool because it's in a house, and he's thrown against a wall, and like there's a hole in the wall, and he looks like he's in a lot of pain. Obviously that would like destroy you if you're a normal person, but it was cool. And I love to see like the Beast be terrifying, and like he has some funny personalities. Of those 12, I believe there's 12.
23.
23. Oh, my bad.
Well, that's what I didn't like in that Split movie. He has 23 personalities, but you see like 9.
Yeah.
But anyway,
so, I guess we're gonna see the other ones, because I don't think there's like a douchebag jock one or whatever.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't think he was in the first one, so maybe we'll see some more of those. And I'd be interested to see how the girl ties into it. I don't really understand how I feel like she would just run for the hills. Why would she would be anywhere near any of them? And I don't know. It's just interesting to see how it plays out. And I know I'm sounding like I'm really interested in it, but I'm also like, it's M. Night Shyamalan, who's like hit or miss.
Yeah.
And from that trailer, I'm
director of The Village.
Yeah, exactly. So. And like from that trailer, I was just like, are we going to have another movie where it doesn't really have a third act? Because Split does have a third act, but it's not really, like, I don't know. It's not...
Split to me was pretty slow. A lot of build-up.
It's a slow movie, So, I don't know. What do you think about that trailer?
It's kind of the same thing you're saying. Like, it's like... I hope that they're holding all their punches. Like, they're, not spoiling it for you, which I appreciate, but... if they aren't, and they showed pretty much the most exciting stuff in the trailer that's going to be in the movie, then yeah, I'll probably be disappointed. It'll probably be one of those movies where you're like, man, this had so much potential and it didn't live up to it.
Like that Alien movie that came out in 2016.
Oh, Alien?
Yeah.
Arrival? Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those things to where those 3 actors in the same movie with a director that's supposed to be good, because, anytime he's on a project, they let you know. So it's one of those things that's got potential. We'll see if it lives up to it, because the trailer is one of those things where you're like, okay, that looks like it could be interesting, but there is definitely a lot of talking and a lot of
plot development, which is good.
Yeah,
but it gets a little thin, especially in like, another thing you have to think about is Unbreakable came out, and we had Spider-Man, and we had the first X-Men, and that was like pretty much it. Since then, we've had like a ton, like 20, 30 comic book movies, and they've pretty much figured out how to make things exciting, and we've seen like ridiculous action and stuff. So it's not going to go as well, because people need, like, I guess when you're going into a comic book movie, you need more exciting things, more like ridiculous over the top action. And I don't know if this movie's going to have it. Like, you don't need to have a crazy amount, but you got to have something that's like you take away from. You're like, that was a really cool action scene.
Yeah. Which
they need to have at least one in this movie, because Unbreakable doesn't have it. As good of a story it has, it's not really just eye candy at any point.
Yeah. And I'm interested to see how all 3 characters come together. Like, yeah. I don't really get when I saw Split, I never understood how. I know there's an explanation to it, and I think I read it, but I already forgot. I didn't really completely understand how James, his like Split character, had anything to do with Bruce Willis's Unbreakable character. But I guess I need to rewatch the movie or read that stupid article. But
they're just in the same town, or like they're just around each other basically. That's all they're not related at all. It's just they're both there for whatever reason.
Yeah, well, I'm interested to see it. I mean, it's one of those things too. You know, it's coming out in January.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How often do you see a great movie that comes out in January?
January and September are usually like Garbo months, but Split came out in January. Pretty decent movie.
Yeah.
And it came out in September, so like there's some movies that come out in both those times that are decent. All right, what do you want to say?
You saw it?
Yeah, I did actually.
And
pretty good. I mean, I have to see so many horror movies that I just don't want to see, but I still like, you know, I can tell the good ones from the bad ones, and that's a good one.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just not into that sort of thing, so it's lost on me. I like to sleep, believe it or not. But anyway,
you like to sleep?
Yeah.
In the movie?
No, like after the movie, because I don't want to not be able to sleep. It's
yeah,
scary.
Yeah, that's what. Okay,
Yeah,
I thought you meant you like to sleep through the movie. I'd be like, yeah, I mean, you can try. Like, I don't want to see the movie, so I'd sleep through, but I'm too like, oh, what's gonna happen?
On the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about Godzilla, I guess, since
it's my least favorite.
Yeah, it is your least favorite.
The only reason why I say it's my least favorite is because the trailer was so just whatever. I don't know. It was just people like, looking off in the distance and freaking out about big, I guess, explosions or movements and things like that. And the whole time we were watching the trailer, I was like, what is this? Mm-hmm. Because like they're kind of advertising it like it's a superhero movie or something. And we were watching a bunch of superhero movie trailers, so I was like, what could this be? And then it was just like the very end, it was like Godzilla, King of Monsters. And I was like, oh, okay. So, I mean, I guess that's why it's my least favorite, because I wasn't really impressed by the trailer, and I don't really know what to expect, because to me it's one of those things to where Godzilla is such a I don't know, he's a megastar. Like, I mean, everyone's heard of Godzilla. Everyone's got a Godzilla reference. There's songs about it. There's movies about it.
Great reference in there.
Exactly. There's so many, like, it's one of those things, like, Godzilla is such a big deal, and yet, like, no one's, like, freaking out about like the Godzilla movies. You know what I mean?
Kind of like Superman. Like, he's such a big deal, but he doesn't really have any good movies.
Exactly. That's a beautiful example. Everyone knows Superman. Everyone knows Godzilla, but it's not like, oh man, I got to watch the Superman or Godzilla movie over and over again. Oh, it's my favorite movie of all time. Like, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that.
Yeah.
And so that's why it does the least for me. And I still haven't watched the first one, but based on what I've heard from you and other people that have seen it, they're just like, yeah, it's kind of whatever. Like, it's a lot of...
I would give it a watch. I mean, you got a year before this movie comes out.
Got plenty of time.
Yeah.
I'll wait till the last minute. And they have, I don't know, like, I remember somebody telling me, like, yeah, they got all these people talking and doing bullcrap, and you get to see Godzilla for like 30 minutes or something. You know what I mean? It's kind of whatever.
It's not like they save him for the end or whatever, because he has like a couple of moments in the movie, but they shoot it in such a stupid way. It like really upsets me. It's like, for a second, they tried to be Chronicle or like one of those found footage movies, like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, they tried to use like news cameras and it'll like zoom in on a woman eating a sandwich, and like in the background, out of focus, like it's like Godzilla, you know? It's like in Seinfeld, whenever, like, what is this even an advertising for? And it's like, you see those jeans in the background, out of focus?
Yeah, like,
that's exactly what it's like. But it's like, the action's pretty decent, and like, the worst part of that movie was the setup, and I'm hoping this movie doesn't have any setup. And also in that movie, you know, you want to see Godzilla fight monsters, and the monsters don't really, quote unquote, show up and fight Godzilla until the very end.
Exactly.
Whereas it looks like in this one, we're gonna get like a lot of monster action. You know,
we better, because that's what disappointed me about Rampage.
Yeah, exactly. Because you had the wolf in the forest for the longest time. Cool scene, but it didn't really. We never got to see it in the fight until the very end.
Yep.
The alligator came out of nowhere.
Yep.
And then we just had to stay with the stupid gorilla and the assholes that stick together the whole movie.
Exactly.
Great line of the year.
Beautiful writing.
Let's see. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, we got the dragon, Rodan. We got Mothra, the bug. And then we got the three-headed one.
What are these things?
These are just the names of the monsters.
In Godzilla?
In Godzilla, yeah.
Okay.
I used to watch like the really crappy ones, like the
Really
Japanese ones.
Really crappy what?
Godzilla movies.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
So that's how I know.
Those any good?
No, they're terrible. But like as a kid, I'm like, this is awesome. This is the best thing that's ever happened. You know, it's like 50 million because they're all like on a $10,000 budget. So it's like just kind of come out with another one every year or so.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. Is the problem with Rampage and the problem with Godzilla is, I know you need a little bit of movie, a little bit of story, but it sounds like they don't even have it, and then they also don't really have a bunch of monsters fighting. So it's like, what do you have? Like, what kind of movie is that?
Because they don't hire someone who like, or I don't know what they do, but I'm assuming they don't hire someone who's like good at writing. Because who cares? It's a monster movie, and they don't make the monsters fight because you can't afford to spend all this money to like create all these scenes. You know, so they got to save it to the end, and they just write away the way that happens, which is whatever. Got anything else to say on the Godzilla trailer?
No, that was about it. We covered that.
All right, Shazam.
No, dude, that's my favorite. I'd save that for last.
Oh, okay. We can talk about Aquaman. You want to say anything about Aquaman?
Garbaggio. No.
Whoa.
I don't know. I'm okay with the actor that's playing him, I guess, and honestly, it looks beautiful. Mm-hmm. Like the world that they're in, the underwater world.
Atlantis.
It is Atlantis. I was going to say Atlantis, and I'd be like, I hope I'm not way off with that. But yeah, Atlantis and just all the scenery and the fish and the whatever they had going on in there, like all of that looked beautiful. But that doesn't mean it's going to be a good movie, because some of the stuff they showed in the trailer, to me, based on the trailer, it looks like they're showing their best stuff. Like they're kind of showing everything that they've packed for this movie. And I just, if that's the best stuff, like, I'm going to be disappointed. It looks like the punchlines are weak. The writing is corny. Like, just based on the trailer. Like, I'm not saying this is what's going to happen. But based on DC movies and based on how some of these trailers go, like, if they're showing you stuff that they think you're going to think is funny in the trailer and you don't think it's funny at all, like, to me, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, if I don't... I know, like, in the trailer, a lot of stuff's real quick, and it's just supposed to give you, like, it's a corny, like, quick laugh, but, like...
Nothing really did it for you.
Yeah, I was like, dude, that's not funny at all. Like, it's literally, like, it's you blatantly trying to be funny, and it's not funny at all.
Like when he was talking about the pep talk underwater?
Yeah. Nothing? Oh, yeah, that was a great pep talk. Yeah, who cares?
Redheads are more fun or whatever.
Yeah, redheads, yeah. I don't know. And so, we'll see.
You want to talk about the kid, or do you want me to go?
Oh, yeah, I don't like how DC movies have to start off with a kid in every movie. I mean, to me, you can just start off with them as a young adult or just something along those lines. I mean, I honestly could care less about Aquaman being a baby. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want to, maybe like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, like something, just be like, yeah, these are his parents. They had powers. They banged, made a kid. He has powers. Here you go. Like, I don't need to see him growing up. I don't care.
Honestly, I think that, like, we've seen so many superhero movies. Does anyone really care that much about the origin? I feel like everyone is so over that. And I feel like that's why every movie makes more, every sequel makes more. Like, it seems like every sequel makes more.
Or at least every sequel tends to get better.
Gets better reviews. One or the other or both. You know, it just seems to be received better because we're like, yes, the plot can go somewhere besides, like... Because it's such a drag to get through that first. And it makes sense why it makes more money. Because who wants to sit through the movie and see that beginning part again? Because it's just all build up.
Yeah.
And like Wonder Woman, we start off as her as like 3-4 years old. And then we have to transition all the way to her becoming Wonder Woman. And then in Superman, we start off and he's like 7 or 8 or so. He's like on the school bus. We have to get all the way to where he's a Superman. Batman's relatively quick, but they didn't need to do that because no one doesn't need to see Batman's origin again. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And what else am I thinking of? Yeah, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
I mean, I guess Suicide Squad kind of skipped the origin story, but that was also a horrible movie.
Yeah, I guess.
I was talking to my neighbors the other day, and they said that they liked that movie, and I didn't even get into it. I didn't even say anything. I was just like, yep, okay. Like, I didn't want to
go down that road.
I mean, if the whole family likes it and I'm the only one that doesn't, I'm not going to win that argument. Like, but because the actors are amazing, the characters are amazing. It's just the way they use him and the way they made the movie was horrible.
I like I like the first like third of that movie a lot though. I like the way they set everything up. I like the way that everything, like, everyone gets an origin story in like 15 seconds. Whatever.
Yes. See,
So
now I feel like a hypocrite.
They could utilize that in Aquaman.
Well,
like,
see,
if they just
like
took 2 minutes instead of whatever they like, maybe like twice as long as each character gets in Suicide Squad. Just give us that.
See, I feel like a hypocrite because I didn't like the way they introduced the characters. I'm not saying I want their childhood, but like, I don't know, it was just real quick. They're like, hey, here's all these bad guys.
Yeah.
Let's get them to do this mission. Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. But is Aquaman's story, like, is it really that? Is it important enough for us to see everything from the beginning? I doubt it.
I could care less, yeah.
I mean, I don't really need to see him train. There's a training scene in there, too. You can see it. Like, they're on the beach or whatever, and he, like, it's a transition scene, but he's throwing the trident, and then a younger Aquaman, like, catches it, like, right here.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. As soon as I saw that,
you were like...
that's when I was like, yep, they're going to do it. Just like they did Wonder Woman. I got to watch this punk grow up, and I don't care.
I can believe they're trained. All right, you can just tell me they're, like, the king of the army or whatever. I'll believe you. You can show me later in the movie. You don't have to show them training. There's a way to, like...
They didn't do it in Thor.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't. I mean, I'm trying to guess Thor to me is similar to a DC character in the fact that he's a god or whatever.
And like, he fights with a weapon or whatever, and he's the king or whatever.
Yep. And they didn't do that with him. They got straight to him basically being Thor.
Yeah.
Like, his origin was coming to Earth, not him growing up and then going to Earth.
What's funny is I can't think of any. They don't have any that start off as a kid. Like, it's just. Like, they don't do that. And I'm like,
and they're
that's
the ones
so
making,
smart, because that doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
What matters when you're a kid? Nothing.
And they're making more money and better movies.
Nothing from when I'm a kid really matters that much. Nope. So why would it matter for these people?
Except for the first time I had diarrhea in elementary school.
That's
that
true.
was
Changed your life?
Life-changing moment. I really learned a lot about my poop and my body.
All right, so let's sidetrack from that because, good lord,
that's a whole nother episode. That's going to probably be the next episode.
Let's see what else we got here.
Well, there was
no, we're going to talk more about Aquaman.
Aquaman.
Let's see. What do you think about the underwater battle at the very end, where it's like the red guys versus the blue guys, and it's just a massive.
I love Halo. Because Halo is red versus blue.
I know, dude. I got it. I just didn't want to get it.
I thought you didn't get it. Again, it looked great, but it's one of those things too. Just because there's a big battle doesn't mean you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Just because a lot of times when they do that, they're just like, "Hey, here's a big battle." Yeah, it's just people like basically mosh pitting. You see a sword go into somebody's side, and you're just like, okay, like
you can't really focus on anything because there's literally like thousands of things going on.
Exactly.
Like that one scene in Justice League, you know what I'm talking about, where it's the past. And their Steppenwolf is there, and he brings the army, and they're all like charging against a Green Lantern and like Zeus and all this other stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so. I only saw that.
Exactly. They charge at each other, and it's like it's kind of cool at first, but then nothing happens. You know, like it's hard to focus on anything.
Excuse me.
Which I don't know where it came from. I don't know why that's such a big deal now.
What's a big deal?
Just a massive army attack another massive army.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. They've been doing that in movies for years, but to me, in a superhero movie, I don't really need it, I guess. I mean, because even Avengers does it, and I don't necessarily enjoy that. Like, that battle scene in Infinity Wars, like, parts of it were really good, and it's mostly the parts where they're focusing in on somebody fighting, but, like, the big battle scene itself, I mean, yeah, it's just a big mosh pit, basically. I don't really care.
Yeah. Anything else stand out to you in this trailer? What did you think about the Black Manta, the bad guy with the laser eyes?
I don't even remember him. What do you think of him?
He's a black guy, and he was like looking at that helmet, and then he has it on, and he shoots it at him as they're over that clock tower. Nothing? Wow.
No.
I guess that's how you felt about it.
Well, I think I had a pressing message on my phone or something, so I might have missed.
Excellent.
I might have missed. Excellent. Yeah, I might have missed that part. But I can tell you that I mean, it's getting to the point now where like I am kind of 50-50 on trailer prediction.
Yeah.
Like, it's really a shot in the dark. You know, I'll sit there and be like, oh, that trailer's trash. Like, this movie's going to suck, and it'll actually be a decent movie. And then vice versa. I'll be like, that's an amazing trailer. I can't wait for this movie. And the movie's horrible. Mm-hmm. And then you've got some where you see the trailer and you have no idea. And then the movie, you have no idea. Like, it could go either way. So I don't really know, but based on what I saw in the trailer, I'm very scared. And I'm also basing it off of the previous DC movies, and it kind of looks like they're sticking with the same formula that they've been sticking with, and I haven't really liked any of their movies. So, I mean, based on what I'm seeing, I'm afraid I'm not going to like it. I think I'd rather see a Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy origin story movie than I would this.
That would be so good.
Whether it's animated or live action, I'd prefer animated, but we'll see.
All right.
What do you think about all that?
I don't know. I think that's pretty accurate. I think to me it's just going to be another Wonder Woman, which is praised and made a lot of money, and everyone really likes it or whatever, but I don't really care for it, honestly, and I don't really feel like watching it. I feel like the middle 50% of that movie is like the middle, like not the first 30 minutes, not the last 30 minutes, but that middle hour is where it's good.
Yeah,
because there's no origin, and then they kind of botched the ending fight. The ending fight is really like not good. It's just not. It could be cool, but it's not. And I feel like this movie's going to be like that too. It's going to be like, I'm going to have to sit through this origin. I'm not really going to care about it. We're going to have some cool stuff in the middle. Hopefully, I'm not really sold on Jason Momoa either, honestly, or the way they're writing him. At least it just doesn't seem. It seems.
Oh,
weird
the guy
to me.
playing Aquaman.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it in any movie, obviously, but I'm worried that they're not going to be able to like. He's either going to not be able to be like dramatic, or he's not going to be funny, and they're going to have dramatic scenes that don't work for me or comedy scenes that don't work for me. And I'm worried they're not going to do those because, at least in Wonder Woman, she's not funny ever. Like, she's not like, she's not trying to make you laugh intentionally like he clearly is. And that's going to be weird to watch and, be able to follow up on that. I'm not sure, like, he's going to nail that.
Yeah, I completely agree. I can't, because he looks the part.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
He looks the part, and so did Gail Gadot or whatever. Like, she looks the part.
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never would have gotten that.
Well, A for effort.
Yeah. I swear I hear people say Gal or... What is it? Gal... What is it?
Gal Gadot.
Okay, I don't know why I've heard people say Gail.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Anyway, like, she looks the part, but I don't know. I wasn't completely convinced with her acting either, but it's probably mostly writing because she seems like a good actress, but I've only seen her in Fast and the Furious, and those movies aren't like made for acting.
She's not an actress. She's a model, which is why she's...
That's right.
I don't want to like immediately dump on what you just said, but it's the only reason she's probably good is just because of the writing. Because she's literally like been in acting for a year or something. Like, I only think she's been in like 3 movies besides the DC movies. She's been in the Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
This other weird one. I know she's got a comedy coming out, which will probably be mad decent.
Well, I was gonna say Marvel seems to be better at casting. That or they have the money to cast better.
I don't...
Because like every time when you see a Marvel movie, like they're so good at it, at whatever the whole process is, picking the actor and then writing scenes for that actor or doing whatever it is that they do. Like, I could not picture anybody else being Iron Man, Thor, Captain America. Like, all those people, like, to me, they are perfect in those roles.
Like I was saying to you earlier, this is like what separates to me like an Avengers from a Jurassic Park is like, okay, there's the action and there's like all this other stuff, but when it really gets down to like what I enjoy about a movie, I don't like when a movie, like, I know it's trying to make me laugh and the writing is just really poor. I can't stand it. I hate that like little like stuff
Forced
that I'm going to get you to
dialogue.
like me and I'm going to get you to laugh at me.
Yeah.
I like it where it just sort of slips in under the radar and it just seems natural to me.
Yep.
That's what good writing is to me. It is just natural. Like,
Yeah.
it just seems like they're living their lives. We just have a camera on them for some reason and they make a joke that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And that to me is what I got from the Aquaman trailer, where I was like, I'm not so sure you got this, because that last thing of like, yeah, redheads love them, right, or whatever, and I was like, oh, like maybe that'll work in the movie, maybe other stuff will work for me in the movie, but that's not really working for me in this trailer. And there is a thing with like him though, that like he kind of has that Rock or like John Cena thing where like you kind of like him, you know what I mean? You like him, just you want to root for him for some reason.
Yeah,
he's got that likability, I guess, and it's just, I want him to be good, but I don't know if he is gonna be. You know,
I don't know. We'll see. I've been thinking about this a lot too, in terms of like all the stuff you just said about forced, like them forcing emotions versus them just kind of writing well and you feeling that emotion naturally. To me, it's like a lot like TV shows. Like, a TV show has a lot more time to develop the characters and for you to build a connection with them. And like two of my favorite shows are Friends and Seinfeld, so I'm just going to use those as an example. Like, it feels real. Like I feel like George Costanza is a real person.
Yeah.
And I relate to him, and I like him, and I also hate him. Like, it's one of those things to where he is real. Like, he is a character. Like, he is his own person. He's not Jason Alexander. He is George Costanza. Like, that's how in-depth it is. And a TV show has time to do something like that. And a movie doesn't normally. But like the Marvel movies and some of these, like, just our other favorite movies,
sequels, franchises,
like our other favorite movies, like they're able to do that, and these DC movies don't. Like,
because you gotta have way better writing, because you gotta be able to get a lot more done in a lot less time.
Yeah, like to me, the character development is important, because if I don't believe in that character and I don't believe that they actually exist, I know it's a fictional movie, it's all fake, but like, you want the movie to take you to that place. And to me, the DC movies don't. Like, I am very aware I'm watching a movie. I don't ever get lost in it. I don't ever go, oh man, like, Thor's a great guy or whatever. Thor's hilarious. Like, oh man, I'd love to meet Thor. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know it's not realistic, but like when I'm watching the DC movies and like Wonder Woman, I'm like very aware that it's a movie and they're trying to make me feel a certain way.
And that makes you like look at your watch, and if you're aware you're in a movie, you're gonna start thinking like, wow, this is taking time. Can we get through this?
Yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom. Like, what time are we getting out of here? Oh man, I left the stove on. You know, like, I don't know.
My sisters, I don't have any sisters. The bank. All right, since it's your favorite trailer, or your most I don't know,
excited for?
Most excited for? No, talking about Shazam.
Shazam. So I don't know much about the character. And it's another one to where it looks like it starts off with childhood, so wasn't crazy about that from the get-go of the trailer, but then it really obviously it's a trailer, so it's a short video.
At least we're in high school.
Yeah, it's a short video, but it does pick up quickly because it appears that the kid switches from being Shazam back to being a kid, it looks like, and Shazam is a grown man, and then obviously he like goes back to a kid when he's not being Shazam. And again, I don't know anything about the comic book, but based on what I saw in the trailer, this one looks better. I don't know if they got a better writer, director, both, whatever, but like the trailer to me was the best trailer of all the trailers you showed me today, just because the origin story looked fairly quick and interesting. I mean, it didn't make a ton of sense, but I'm sure it'll explain it more in the movie because it was just a trailer. But I don't know, it actually looked funny. Like, I actually smiled and kind of laughed at the trailer, and I was like, okay, like, I actually want to watch this. And they like showed you a clear-cut bad guy, but we don't know who he is, so that they didn't give too much away. And I don't know, it just looks good to me. Like, I'm actually, again, to me, it was the best trailer. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be the best movie, but it was the best trailer of what we saw because it, you know, it just showed it to me, and I like felt a certain way about it. It wasn't like giving me corny punchlines. I mean, I'm sure there was one or two in there, but like it wasn't. It was the best trailer. I don't know. It looked funny. Looked good. I'm excited to learn about Shazam.
Yeah. Well, basically the character is like, he just gets like a wizard gives him this power, and he just says the word Shazam, and he goes from boy to kid or boy to man, and like he has basically all the powers of Superman, and he has lightning or whatnot, and so he's magical. And Superman will probably be in the movie just because they're usually like friends, or like they kind of fight each other or some way. Like, he'll probably be referenced at least. For me, the trailer was like, I think it's got a lot of like we were just talking about with Aquaman, where the forced humor is there. You got a lot of potential for some like great humor because you got a kid in a man's body, so he can do all sorts of funny stuff, like all sorts of crazy stuff, like
look at his hairy crotch.
And exactly.
Yeah.
In a weird way, it's like it's kind of like in Jumanji, whenever Jack Black turns to be a woman. Even though that doesn't land all the time, it's pretty funny throughout, and so it could be something like that. I thought Humble was a weird choice for the movies. Like the trailers, I I mean, I know that song is big and
it's
Kendrick's big and
yeah,
like everyone loves that song, so they're trying to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
But it really like I was like, oh no! Like whenever he was flossing, and he like the trailer, I was like, no, I don't want to see someone floss.
See, actually, yeah, I was so excited about it, and you just reminded me of the two things I didn't like. I didn't like the flossing, and I didn't like the Kendrick.
I'm sorry, I
But
should
like
have left you in your world. Yeah.
I like Kendrick though. I
do
don't
too.
like how
I like
they're
that song too. I just don't.
They're throwing him in pretty much everything because he's popular. He's mainstream.
Yeah. And that didn't really work for me. But like, it seems like the origin's quick enough. At least we're in high school. You know, it seems like it's going to be cool to see him get his powers and find out like what he can do. And like, seems like there'll be some decent action sequences in it. It upsets me because I know that like a long time ago, and it's still rumored or whatever. It's not like official, but The Rock was supposed to be Black Adam, which is basically Shazam but evil, and like a worse, like a bad wizard or something gives him his powers, and he's like the same way or whatever.
So is that not happening?
Well, Black Adam isn't in that movie, or he might be an end credit scene or whatever. But to me, it's like, all right, you got this character that no one really knows about. Like no one really cares that much about him. He's not in the top tier or whatever of like
Shazam.
Yeah, Shazam. And you've got his main bad guy that even less people probably know about. But you cast The Rock as him, and that seems pretty great. But then you like that he was cast like years ago. This movie was
I've been talking
about
it for a while.
And like he just, and they're not sure if he's on anymore or whatever. But like he signed some contract or what. So he's not going to be in this movie for sure, which is kind of disappointing to me because I feel like the bad guy is going to be some take on Lex Luthor, like something like Lex Luthor. I know it's like Doctor whatever from the comics, but to me, I'm like, I don't really want to see a man try to fight a superhero because it doesn't. Because every time I've seen that, I haven't liked it. Now, granted, those are some of the worst movies ever, like Superman Returns and so much. Like, yeah, I'm gonna fight a rock. Yeah, that's great. Let's not have that happen. But you have to like the writing's gonna have to be so good to make up for the fact that this guy has superpowers and he's going to be challenged and put in bad situations by a guy who's literally just a man. Now, maybe he has superpowers, I don't know. But to me, that was like something that stuck out to me. But yeah, the humor seems like it's going to be decent. Seems like I like the way the character looks, honestly, even though it's like kind of ridiculous looking, but it kind of fits it, and it seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. And like we were just talking about, you know, like,
DC could use some fun.
Yeah, it could use some fun, and I feel like it's going to be real quick. Like it's going to feel like it's just moving on like super fast, especially after we get through that hopefully short origin stage. I did notice another thing in this, and it's like, how much of dicks are the kids in the DC movies? Because like he's like, why don't you go play with your fake family? I'm like, what a stupid thing to get mad at someone for. Oh, you don't have a real family? Let's go kick his ass.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, he's talking to the fish? Let's go kick his ass.
Yeah.
Oh, you're breathing? Let's go kick his ass.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What are you not going to kick this kid's ass for?
Exactly.
Like, how do you fit in and be a cool kid here?
That's what I was gonna say. Is I know I'm not in public school anymore, but I mean when we were in public school, I mean they were still making some of these movies, and it's like, I mean, are there really still that generic of bully out there?
Yeah.
Like, is there really
like
bullies?
Shove you into the ground?
Yeah.
Have a posse around you?
Yeah, just because you're the nerdy main protagonist or something. Like they're like, oh yeah, this kid looks like he's easy to pick on. It's one of those things too, like. They're bullying, like in the trailer of Aquaman and Shazam, like you just mentioned, like they're bullying these kids for next to nothing.
Yeah, it seems like.
And they look like any other kid. So like, what made them pick them? Aside from apparently him having a foster family. But
I guess he's the new kid in school. But I don't remember. I don't know. That doesn't seem like a legitimate reason anymore.
I don't know. Yeah, I do not like the cliche bullying thing because. I don't know. I feel like bullying these days has gone a lot more in depth, and it's not as clear cut as you just finding a kid that looks weak or is the new kid or doesn't have a real family apparently, and you just go beat them up. Like I don't know. To me, it's pretty stupid. I feel like most of it's done online these days.
To me, nice. To me, what like really made me like, what are we talking about here? Is they came out with these trailers on the same day, right? And they're both DC movies. Why would anyone let, like, I don't know, to me, if I was editing those trailers, I would be like, let's not have the exact same scene, basically, in both these movies, you know? Like, they're both bullied, and they're both pushed against something, and they're both, like, the camera is almost in the exact same angle. Whatever.
Well, to me, that is a red flag for what's to come, because I don't know. I remember, didn't like DC say a while back, like after all their movies were flopping, that they were gonna like change their formula or do like something different?
Yeah.
To me, they haven't. Or if they did change it, it really didn't get much better, and they're not improving it past what that. Like, it looks like they're kind of just like, hey, like, we have a bunch of superheroes too. Let's put out all these movies and try to compete with Marvel, and we're just going to keep doing the same thing in all of them. I don't know. Not good. If that's what they're doing, not good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people like us will like them, but I sadly think that we're going to be like, that was meh, and then everyone else will like it. I think it'll be the Wonder Woman thing all over again, where it's like, everyone loves this movie, and it's a decent movie, but I'm not going to be over the moon about it, and it'll have a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes and make $1 billion or something.
Wonder Woman did?
Yeah, it has like a 89 or 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, a lot of people liked Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad. I don't know if a lot of people liked BVS.
Well, BVS and Suicide Squad both have a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, okay,
so
good.
They got pooped on hard.
Okay.
But even those films have their defenders for
whatever reason.
Yeah. I don't want to take your line from you.
Thanks. But yeah, a lot of people like them, and I don't get why, but I guess it's one of those things, they don't go to the movies enough, so they don't know any different. So they're just entertained by whatever's in front of them.
I think most people are just like pretty easy to please in a movie, and you got to really put out a piece of garbage for them to not want to see it, honestly.
Like the Emoji Movie, apparently.
Dude, you couldn't have paid me to see that movie. Literally, you could not have bought my ticket, and I would have seen that movie. I would have been like, here's like $15.
What if we were going to do an episode about it?
Dude, my computer couldn't handle how long it would take us to dump on that movie. Alright, so we got those 5 trailers. Which one won you over the most, and which one sort of diminished any sort of excitement or wanting to see the movie? Basically, what was the Fuego trailer? What was the Garbaggio trailer?
I think we call it. Fuego is still Shazam, despite kind of what we talked about, like just the generic bullying and some of that stupid stuff. I would say Shazam was the best, and then I guess second best would unfortunately have to be Fantastic Beasts, just because, I don't know, it's got like, I mean, Jude Law and Johnny Depp, and then like the dude playing the main character, like, I don't know him, but like he's pretty good at that character, Newt, whatever his name is. So I mean, to me, like, that casting is pretty good, and the movie's probably going to be
Eddie Redmayne.
Nice. That's his name?
Yeah.
What is it?
Eddie Redmayne.
Seems like it's going to be mad decent. And then Glass, to me, is the biggest question mark. Just because, again, it's all that potential. So probably least favorite, or I guess most turned off, would be, because it's hard for me to form an opinion on Godzilla when I haven't really seen it, because I already know kind of what to expect, because they kind of make all these monster movies the same. So I guess Godzilla would be second least favorite, with Aquaman probably being the most, just because, you know.
Is it a trailer, or is it more like you've been fooled before, or like you don't have enough trust in
both
DC?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Like it's the trailer kind of furthered my opinion that I already had on DC, and it's making me really nervous, because like I know I'm going to go see it. There's no way I'm not going to go see it. But like I'm not looking forward to it. Like I'm not looking forward to having to dump on a movie that should be good.
Yeah.
So.
All right, yeah.
You, sir?
I would say that Shazam, honestly, because I didn't care about that movie at all, and even though I think it will have its problems, and I'm not blown away by the trailer, mainly because I don't think that Humble will be in the movie and be forcibly used in there. Hopefully not. But I think it looks like fun, and it looks like a good time, and I won't hate it. You know, I won't like be in there and be like, wow, how much longer, how much time am I wasting? I'll be like, wow, that was really fun. It was, time flew. All the other trailers were meh to me. I would give a shout out to Godzilla, just because I forgot about it even happening, and then I saw the trailer and I was like, all right, I'm kind of interested now. So I'll give a shout out to that one. And then honestly, to me, I'd have to give the worst trailer would have to be Aquaman, just because that movie I know more about Fantastic Beasts and Glass. Like I've followed more of it, and I should be more excited for it because it's just a movie that should be more for me. But I'm worried about it just because the trailer seemed to tell me what the movie is basically going to be like, and I'm not a fan of that direction, at least. So
we agree on that.
We do agree on that. I think it'll.
Well, we agree on both of them.
I think it'll be average, but I don't think that's not good enough. You know, I don't want an average movie out of that. I want to have a pretty good movie for a, whatever $200 million budget.
Jeez.
So, all right. Well, you want to take us home, Money?
I guess so, folks. If Aquaman sucks, don't go support it. No, I'm just kidding. No, hopefully we're still doing the podcast when it comes out because I'd love to do it. I'm already ready.
We will be because it'll be like over Christmas break, so
okay.
You'll at least we'll be here at least.
Okay, because I'm looking forward to doing Aquaman review. Yeah, but that's going to wrap it up for the Comic-Con trailers that we watched and reviewed. Hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, whatever else all these podcast YouTubers say. Just because we love your opinion. We hate ours. Anyway, thanks for listening. And for Reagan Horton, I'm Ryan Money. Y'all have a good night.